Cough, cough. Hello, I'm back again. Yay. Let's get to it. Chapter 12. 12:25 a.m. Looks like the kidnappers made a big mistake. The girl in the trunk was Detective Joud's daughter, Camilla, not the minister's daughter. Was that a mistake? When I got back to the Justice Minister's office, things were getting even more out of hand. The devastated man was being grilled by the fiery detective lady. I told Lynn what I had found out about the kidnapping, that it wasn't the Justice Minister's daughter who had been abducted, that the kidnappers had been holed up in Camilla's old house, and that they sensed my presence and were already gone. But Camilla? Why do they have Camilla? Her father isn't the stupid old Justice Minister. I think the stupid old part is a little uncalled for. It looks like the kidnappers made a mistake somehow. The poor girl, kidnapped for the ransom of her own father's execution? It's just too much! It's a cruel twist of fate, I agree. And then there are those other twists, too. Like the kidnappers winding up in and using Camilla's old house as their hideout? There's no way it could just be a coincidence. And them sensing my presence. They seemed to know about the powers of the dead. I just don't understand any of it. I told you before, Detective. I want you to stand back. Slap. Who cares about distance at a time like this? Look, Mr. Minister, it wasn't your daughter that was kidnapped. Don't try and pretend you didn't hear what we were saying. How can I believe in you? I'm a realist. Please! If you don't believe what we say, see for yourself. Just call home and... I tried calling 100 times. My wife won't answer. She won't. It's complicated. Oh, why does life have to be such a complicated thing? But if she doesn't answer, doesn't that mean everything's normal? It doesn't prove it. And I'm being watched. I can't have the police go check for me. Besides, if the execution isn't carried out tonight, the hostage will be killed. What difference does it make that it's not my daughter? Gasp. Hoo-wee, that's quite a pickle, Mr. Minister. Quite a pickle. Oh. Oh, she's in the wrong place. Miss me, baby? Inspector Cabanella. Dance, dance, dance. I have a little report for you, Mr. Minister. That is quite the bow. The escaped prisoner has been apprehended. Thought you might like to see him. So here he is. Hello? They just brought him here? Detective Joud? Detective Joud, I'm so sorry. I tried... I know that you're innocent. I just can't prove it. I'm so sorry. Lynn, please, don't apologize to me. Ah, the beautiful love between a teacher and student. It brings a tear to my eye. He says with a smiling face. Lynn doesn't really know that Joud is innocent. She just believes it from the bottom of her heart. The execution and the kidnapping are real threats, and the time marches on. I'll gather information and see if I can think of something. This all relates back to me somehow, I just know it. You knew, didn't you, Inspector Cabanella, that the execution was tonight? I don't believe I had any obligation to tell you. And you're fine with this? I mean, you know as well as I do. Detective Joud could never have done such a thing. Ha ha ha! Oh, come on now, baby. I know no such thing. Huh? I know two things to be true and two things only. 1. He was given the death penalty. And 2. He tried to escape. What else could I do but haul him in, baby? If that's the case, why did you bring him here? Whatever do you mean, young lady? He escaped from prison, right? So why didn't you just take him back to the prison? I think you only brought him here to brag about your accomplishment. Isn't that right, Inspector? For your own selfish reasons? So were all those rumors about you true? That the only thing you care about is a spotless record? That more important? Is that more important to you than saving a friend? Everybody has certain principles they can't go back on, including me. You'll understand that someday, baby. That's enough, Lynn. But Detective Jowd, I'm a death row inmate who escaped from prison. This is how it should be. But... my poor Amelie, is she alright? Actually, the girl who was kidnapped is named Camilla. Why is a dream talking to me in my head again? Wait a minute. Amelie? Could that be the Amelie next door? Yes, I think so. Wow, I didn't know the Justice Minister lived next door. No, not me. My wife. It's, complicated. Yeah, I bet it would be pretty hard to admit she left him. He thinks out loud. The minister's wife ran away on him? Maybe they grew apart. What with being so busy. Yeah. Yeah, I bet you're right. Please stop gossiping about me inside my own head. According to what I heard, Amelie was supposed to go to some sort of lesson tonight. Those horrible kidnappers, they were lying in wait for her. But Amelie didn't go out after all. She couldn't. She had a fever. Huh. And so the kidnappers grabbed Camilla by mistake instead? Apparently. Amelie and Camilla are about the same age. The kidnappers must have gotten the two of them mixed up. It's my fault. If I hadn't asked Camilla to do that errand for me, this would have never happened. Oh right, you asked her to bring the music box. Camilla. So, Mr. Ghost, we meet again. I hear something happened. Something about a kidnapping? Some kidnappers are saying they abducted the Justice Minister's daughter. That's terrible. What's their demand? The carrying out of your execution, tonight. Ha ha ha! I had no idea I was so hated. But the minister doesn't have to worry. I die and it's all over. Very simple. It's not that simple. Why not? Because it isn't really the minister's daughter who got kidnapped. It's Camilla. What? Camilla? I checked it out for myself, I'm positive. No, it can't be! And, by the way, Camilla told me something interesting. She said the one who killed her mother 5 years ago was Camilla herself. What? What are you talking about? Don't listen to him! I'm the one who shot her. I'm the one who shot Alma. And when I'm executed tonight, that will be the end of it. Camilla won't have to suffer any more after tonight. For a capable detective, you say some incredibly misguided things. You dying isn't going to end that girl's suffering. It'll just bring her new suffering. The only person's pain this execution is going to ease is yours. Is it true, what Camilla said? Why don't you tell us what you know? To be honest, I still don't understand what happened that day. It was my wife's, Alma's, birthday. We came home from work, and she went in first. Bang. What was that noise? Arr. I looked for the shooter, but there was nobody to be found. There was nobody there besides Alma and Camilla, just the two of them. So the little lady's mother died right in front of her. Oh my, that's so horrible. Excuse me. Camilla told me about it. She was crying. She said the contraption she made did something it wasn't supposed to, and made an impossible move. An impossible move. Camilla was quite a quiet little girl, but she was good with her hands. She was a little genius at making elaborate toys and contraptions. But there were two very strange points about that contraption. My god. The first was, of course, the firing of that gun. Right, that was an antique gun I had on display for years. So it wasn't part of the little lady's original design. Of course it wasn't. It was supposed to be a surprise for her mother's birthday. And the other strange point was the movement of that Cupid. Cupid? It was supposed to shoot its arrow without turning around. Somebody made a change to the contraption's design, and then manipulated it. I don't know what to say. I didn't have time to think things through then. All I knew was I had to protect Camilla. I made a small adjustment to the scene and turned myself in. What kind of adjustment? The gun, of course. The gun, eh? Come to think of it. There was no gun there, just a picture hanging on the wall. Of course not, because I secretly switched the gun out of that frame with the picture. I didn't believe what she told me about her contraption, but one thing was for certain. That gun was still smoking. So that gun really did shoot Alma. I hid the gun before I went to the police. You hid it? I put it in a wooden box and gave it to a certain detective. What? You mean? And that detective still thinks it's a music box. So that's what was in the box, huh? I got a different murder weapon ready to give the police, my own pistol. And I did a few other things to make it look good. I won't go into the details. When I was all done, I turned myself in. It's been 5 years since then. I stopped thinking about it. I shot Alma. There's no other explanation. That's what I'd convinced everyone of, even me. But tonight, you showed up and gave me an explanation I never would have thought of before. The powers of the dead, right? That day, in that room, powers that I didn't understand were at work. And if that's the case, it clears up all the mysteries. Maybe not all. There are a couple of other people who know about those powers. Somebody there, can you hear me? I can sense your presence, you know. The kidnappers who abducted Camilla knew about those powers. This is no ordinary kidnapping. It looks like my wife's case isn't coming to an end after all. I'm the only one who thought it was. Detective Jowd. But there's still time before dawn, a little anyway. How about you see this case through to the end before you die? Detective Jowd, is what you told us now just true? Yes, of course. In that case, there's still time. Still time? Time to solve the case that started 5 years ago. You didn't do it, Detective Jowd, and of course, little Camilla didn't do it either. So the true perpetrator is still out there, and I'm going to prove it. For Camilla's sake. That sounds wonderful. Thank you, Detective Jowd. Lynn, where is that music box now? In Temsic Park, Camilla left it there. Are they still thinking at each other, or are they, like, shouting this with, like, this other detective fully listening in? These thinking conversations happen in real time? No. I think the clock is paused. I mean, nothing really happens in real time. It's all kind of, you do 4 minutes and suddenly it's a half hour later or whatever. There's gaps, but it's fine. Usually when there's dialogues like these, though, even during timed section, it, like, pauses the timer. But we're not even in a timed section at the moment. Still not sure if these guys are, like, thinking to each other right now, but... oh well. Anyway, the gun is important evidence. You'd better go pick it up. Yes, sir. I'll go right now. Cecil, take care of Detective Jowd. And do something about the kidnapping so we can get the minister on our side. And yet again, I say, easy enough for you to say. And he's not gonna stop. Yeah, whatever. What's going on? Deal me the deal, Mr. Death Row inmate. A little change in plans. My daughter has been kidnapped. I can't just go off and die without doing something. But you're in our custody, don't forget. Back at the prison, everyone's waiting for you with a special seat just for you, baby. Then I guess we better prove my innocence on the double. On the double, is it? You sound so determined, my old friend. I want to save Camilla, in more ways than one. And that's all there is to it. I see, my old friend. In more ways than one. What say you, Mr. Minister? May we have your decision? Should the execution be carried out tonight, as planned? Or should we hold off and wait for this important evidence to come in? The order still stands. Bring the prisoner back immediately and resume its enforcement. As you wish, Your Excellency. Please don't bow down to me. And especially not that low. In that case, can I have one of your boys arrange a prison van to pick him up? Would you be so kind? Yes, sir. The van should take about 10 minutes, I'm guessing. Your escape tonight was brilliant. Will you show me another miracle in these last few minutes of yours, Mr. Death Row inmate? I'm glad to see Detective Jowd all fired up now, but I feel like I'm under the gun here. Even if Lynn does come through with proof of Jowd's innocence, it will be meaningless if Jowd or Camilla dies. I've got to do something about the kidnapping somehow. Maybe I should ask for some advice from the capable detective here. Sure. Most likely, the minister won't stop the execution. Not as long as there's any small chance his daughter is the one who's kidnapped. She isn't the one, I'm sure of it. Well, it would be great if we could prove that to the minister. Prove it? How? I doubt his wife is ever going to answer that phone if we call from here. If we call from here, right. But a telephone works in both directions. What are you saying? What I'm saying is only family members can solve a family problem. Hey, Mr. Ghost? Yes? I have to admit, I don't like depending on others. But you're the only one who can change this situation. Gee, detective. For these past 5 years, Camilla is the only thing that kept me going. I can't go meekly into the chair now. I hate to ask this, but would you mind saving me? I'll try. The key to getting the Justice Minister is to stop the execution. Is his wife and daughter, but is there a way? Excuse me, Mr. Minister. I can't hear you! I'm sure you heard everything we've been saying. Are you telling me you don't believe any of it? Let me speak plainly, I don't trust you. But there's somebody else whom I trust even less. Oh yeah? Who's that? Me! I can't explain your existence, it's not normal, but I'm pretty abnormal myself. So maybe you're a figment of my imagination, a delusion. Would you listen to a delusion? To be honest, I have no idea what you're talking about. I got the bit about you not trusting me, though. Good. Well, hanging around here won't change anything. I've got 10 minutes before the prison van shows up. If I could just do something about the kidnappings in those 10 minutes. Guess the telephone lines are my only hope. I kind of wonder what's going on here. I think the correct place to go is here, but since I'm interested, I'm gonna go explore other places. Line says it doesn't seem to be working. Okay, that's fair. I don't know if this is Temsic Park or if this is some other nondescript park. Hey, look at that. The detective is back. Camilla! Without knowing the situation, this scene would look pretty suspicious. Right. Okay. Like, interested to know what's going on in some of these other areas right now. The chief is on his way over here. What's he want to come for now? Well, because the death row inmate escaped, of course. Oh, I'd hate to be in your shoes right now, Bailey. You're in charge, after all. Ah! Me? Oh, why did I ever become a prison guard? I never would have taken a job like this if I knew the prisoners might escape. Wow, unbelievable. Yes, I know, right? It is unbelievable. He doesn't seem to be doing his crazy dance. Guess the chief went out. He didn't even put on his shoes. Did something happen? Oh, that's interesting. It's not like the restaurant is closed. Where's the chef? It's just not the same without his singing. I guess I can come back later if I want to hear him sing again. The Chicken Kitchen Kitchen. Alright, let's go to Lady Red's apartment. Just as I thought. This little girl is safe in her bed. Cough, cough. Murder, execution, jailbreak, betrayal, and now a kidnapping. This last link in the long chain of sad fate lit a fire in Jowd's heart, and the chance to turn it all around is right here in this room. Getting a strange premonition. Everything that happened so far tonight has related back to me in some way. I bet this mistaken-ridden abduction does too. I visited the novelist's apartment again. I'm hoping to be able to do something about this mistaken identity kidnapping. As long as there's any possibility that it could be his own daughter who was kidnapped, I doubt the Justice Minister will call off the execution tonight. The key to dispelling the Minister's doubt is now in bed coughing, and I need to use this key before that prison van arrives to pick up our death row inmate. My darling angel, oh just listen to that cough. You naughty thing, did you leave your nice warm bed to go out into the night to play? A daughter after my own heart, but I must confess I didn't even notice you were gone. I didn't go out to play. I went to buy Papa a birthday present. He said he wanted a new lighter. But that's no reason to go out this late at night. But my fever finally went down. I could barely move before that. But look at what it brought you. Your fever is worse now than ever. Here is to the feverish passion of my darling angel. Yes, just keep drinking. All night long. Mama? Yes, darling? Let's call Papa and wish him a happy birthday, even though it's already past midnight. Not tonight, Amelie. I hate you! Looks like this little girl was safe all along. I already knew that, but I'm still relieved all the same. And there's another lucky development too. Amelie wants to call her father. Now if I can just make use of that feeling somehow, that would surely bring the Justice Minister around. The phone! Quick, distract her. Amelie, I told you you couldn't call him tonight. Why not? Listen to me, Amelie. Your father is about to make a big mistake. I want him to reconsider. What do you know about it, Mama? He is the one who's the Justice Minister, you know. All you do is write weird novels. Oh. What do you mean, weird? How dare you disparage my romantic expressions? Now you've really made me angry. You really have. How do you expect me to forgive such an insult? I hate you! Yep. There. I'll be keeping my eye on you now, so you won't do anything else mischievous. Like calling your father. I hate you! I can hear you, you know. What a pair. I don't know what this family's issues are, but I do know I have to do something about this lady so Amelie can call. Maybe we can get a certain dog barking? Better not put the lamp out right now. It will only pour oil on the flames of anger in this lady's heart. I want to give Amelie a chance to use the telephone. I have to think of a way to keep her mother out of the way. Is mice still up here? I can't seem to get over back to the other room. I don't even know if the dog is still home. Last we saw, Missile was trying to, like, escape by bashing his head up against the door, which something tells me is, like, actually gonna work eventually. Well, well, having a good time, are we, a little rodent? Sweet dreams. Oh! Did you fancy the vintage, my whiskered friend? She's more powerful than I thought. It looks like she tipped the wall candelabra to one side too. The angle of those candles. I get the feeling I've seen something very similar to that quite recently. Yes, indeed. Oh. Wait. Oh heavens, a blackout. At a critical time like this? Of course, dim light suits my story of love very well, but I myself am not very fond of the dark. You're using a typewriter, you don't need electricity. And you have a lamp. Just... The chandelier just narrowly missed the back of my head. I love the thrill of romance, but I don't need these kinds of thrills, thank you. What? What was that? What? Are you seriously gonna drink that? Holy smokes. What a wonderful atmosphere. Perfect for clandestine meeting in the dusty twilight. Yes, indeed. Oh, I don't get to go into the rat and, like, save its life. I guess it's not dead. Lots of things that I can do here. I don't exactly know how this situation came about, but I think I owe the rat an apology. The rat seems to be unconscious. But now that the room has changed into this, maybe I can use it somehow. Well, this seems like kind of a one-way, like, decision. Ah. Okay. The lady's dictionary. Wasn't this on her desk before? The poor thing, destined to never be returned to the bookshelves. What a naughty chandelier, yes. Naughty chandelier indeed. Such insolence! I think what I want to do is make them burn, and then... This lady is surprisingly quick. She dodged that thing like a pro. Guess I'd better get serious here. Yeah, make this burn, and then... In the time while it's burning, drop it down. Oh, that didn't do anything. It, like, stopped burning brighter. That was close. And I can't do anything while she's re-cranking this thing up. Okay. Hmm. Is it insolence or insulation? Ah, now she's gonna get the dictionary. Whatever, I'll look it up tomorrow. Oh, no, she doesn't need the dictionary. Yeah, that doesn't seem to do the trick. Okay, well, there's a few other things that I can play with still. Also, I don't even know what dropping this would really do for me at the moment, to be honest, but... Ah! That's not what I meant to do, but... Such insulation! That's twice she managed to dodge it like that. Who knew she was a dodging champion? I'm starting to get annoyed. Let me try that again, I'll get her this time. Yeah, maybe the timing is what's important here. Hmm. Oh goodness, look at the time. As I bask in my tale of love, time has been moving at the speed of light. So even though she's immersed in love, she can still hear this, eh? But this won't buy enough time for her daughter to make a phone call. There must be something else I can distract her with. Alright, we're gonna try and catch her after all. Amelie! Amelie, help me! Mama! I'm sorry, Mama. I'm too dizzy. I can't get up. I'm afraid I can't help you right now. Ah! Ha ha! Here's to the weakness of my darling angel. That chandelier is on there tighter than her wedding band. She won't be able to escape on her own. If I recall, the novelist said she didn't like the dark. I don't want her thrashing about any more than she already is. I better not put this lamp out right now. Wait, but I want to light this. Oh. Help! Help! What? What is going on here? Amelie, look! Do you see this? Help me, please! Groan. Sorry, I'm too sick. I can't get out of bed. My head is spinning, so I guess you'll just have to stay up there spinning too. Looks like the lady won't be going anywhere for a while. Now the little girl can call her father. The only trouble is she can't reach it. Guess I'll have to deliver it to her. That's right, the angle of those candles. I saw something very similar just recently, didn't I? Fortunately, there's like not many fires to go around right now. Oh, that helps. Ah! Rip this hecking rat, though. Now I really owe that poor rat an apology. This might be a really good chance for me, too. I have to get that phone to Amelie. Yo, this is heckin' chaos. Wait, that's gonna break the other way, though. Ah, okay. Mama! What in the world is going on here? Oh, goody. Excuse me a minute while I call Papa, okay, Mama? I'll only be a minute. Ah! Don't you dare, Amelie! I won't have it! Hello, Papa? Gasp! Amelie! Is that you? Of course it is, silly. What did you think? But I heard they said you were... No, never mind. It's nothing. Silly-o, Papa. Happy birthday, Papa. Birthday? Oh, right. It was my birthday today, wasn't it? I'm sorry we couldn't celebrate tonight. Thanks to mean old Mama. Oh, your mean old Mama. I mean, your mother. What is she up to right now? Well, she's certainly up, alright. My stubborn mother is kind of tied up at the moment. Get me down! She needs to be taught a lesson for causing us so much trouble. No, Amelie. I'm the one who was wrong. Huh? Could you tell your mother I'm sorry? What do you have to be sorry about? I was just about to make a terrible mistake. But it's alright now. Oh, okay. You're still young. There's a lot I can't tell you right now. The job of Justice Minister is very complicated, you see. Okay. But just remember, you're always the most important thing to your mother and me. Did you do something naughty to your mother? You did. I want you to apologize. I don't think I did anything. But okay, I'll apologize. That's a good girl. Okay, Papa, have a good night. I love you. I love you too, Amelie. Good night, sweetheart. Mama? I'm sorry. My goodness, why the sudden change? I guess I was wrong about you. I didn't understand. Oh, Amelie. Still doesn't understand. I thought all you ever did was write these weird novels. That makes me a little sad. Papa said the job of Justice Minister was complicated. Yes, her father's job is very, very complicated and difficult. That's why I couldn't talk to you about most of it. But you're right. I shouldn't treat you like such a little girl anymore. You're growing up, after all. And I promise to stop calling your novels weird and try actually reading them. What? Oh, maybe you'd better wait until you're a little older for that. Okay. So, Amelie, if you're feeling a little more charitable towards your old mama, you think you could let me down now? You know, I would love to do that, but I'm just feeling too dizzy and sick right now. Tonight, on this holiest of nights, my deadline. Looks like the only thing pressing on me will be this chandelier. Here's to Papa and Mama's darling angel. Clink. All of a sudden, everybody's getting along again. It's such an abrupt change, I can't understand it. Is this what family is all about? In any case, the situation has changed dramatically now. I just hope the mysteries of me can be cleared up as quickly as the furrows on the minister's brow. I don't know where Camilla is, but at least now the Justice Minister's doubts are dispelled. I think I'll go back to his office where everyone else is waiting for the prison van. Where did the rat go? He probably just hopped off and ran over to the other side of the room or something. The minister's family now has their smiles and harmony back, but Camilla is still in the hands of the kidnappers. I decided to go back to the Justice Minister's office. Surprisingly, the minister's brow is still just as furrowed as ever, quite unlike a father who has just learned his daughter is safe. He seems to still be in the depths of despair. The atmosphere in this room is very different now. It seems to have an air of unfocused anxiety. I get the feeling something big is going to happen. I just found out that my daughter is safe. I'd like to express my gratitude. Thank you. Thank you for my daughter's sake, and for mine. No need to thank us, Mr. Minister. It was nothing. What did he do? But one question. Can't help but notice your daughter is safe. And yet you still look unhappy. How about a little smile for us? Of course, there is still the matter of the other kidnapping victim. But is that really the only thing that troubles you, Mr. Minister? Please, let me think in peace, until the prison van arrives. You're not thinking in peace. I wonder if Lynn is at the park yet. Until we get her report, I guess I'll have to wait here. This continued distress of the ministers. Is there really something more to it? Like the inspector in white said? Hello, Justice Minister. How about you finally admit I do exist? That thank you I expressed. That was meant for you. You're a ghost, aren't you? And you have the power to control and manipulate people, don't you? No, I don't have that kind of power. I can't control you. We've actually known, you know, for quite a while now. But I had no idea they were the powers of the dead, of ghosts. Known? Known about what? We knew about the existence of somebody who could control others, a manipulator. What's this? That's why your execution order caused me so much anguish, Detective Jowd. Mr. Minister, why don't you just tell us everything you know? Yes, I suppose I should. You need to hear it all. All about the huge mistake this foolish man made. There are some cases in this country right now that are under a top-secret investigation. Of course, you wouldn't have known about them, Detective Jowd. Right, they don't share too much top-secret information with the inmates in prison. There are 3 prisoners, including you, in the special prison you just escaped from. All 3 cases have certain points in common. They do they? Tell us more. The rock singer who leaked national secrets in his lyrics during a TV broadcast. The curry-loving fellow who took the chief commissioner hostage at the Metro Police Department. Neither of these men had motive for their crime, and both of their crimes were impossible. Impossible? The curry lover had no way of knowing how to infiltrate the commissioner's office, and the rock singer had no way of knowing the national secrets he leaked. The Special Investigation Unit submitted an investigative report to me on them. They concluded that these men's criminal acts were not of their own volition. But how could that be? The theory the unit came up with was the existence of a manipulator. A manipulator, huh? That's when the special prison was established as a facility to research that theory. Some unknown power has been at work. These past several years, Inspector Cabanela has been studying these cases. He has he? Manipulating somebody into committing a criminal act, according to the inspector. The first case of its kind was a locked room murder involving our nation's best detective. You trying to say I was manipulated somehow into shooting Alma? I appreciate the theory, but unfortunately, I don't recall being controlled by anybody. It's just not possible to manipulate another's behavior like that. My powers certainly don't work on living creatures. That's what I thought when I first heard the theory too. However, I was seriously mistaken, and it proved to be a big mistake. What? You mentioned mistake. Could you tell us about it? I suppose everybody here has the right to know. Alright, fine. I'll speak out loud so the Inspector Cabanela can hear this too. There's something I'd like the 2 of you to hear. It's about a mistake I made. Inspector Cabanela, when you first made that report about a manipulator, I'm afraid I didn't believe it at all. Impossible, I thought. Perfectly understandable, Mr. Minister. But I was wrong. That kind of power does exist. And I learned the truth of that firsthand. What's this? A month ago, I signed over the order to carry out Detective Judd's execution. However, that act wasn't of my own volition. I was being controlled. What? You never told me about this, Mr. Minister. What's going on? This document, what am I doing? No, I mustn't sign it. It has been signed. Wait, don't deliver that document. That's when it started. That's when all my fear, despair, and suffering began. At the time, it didn't even cross my mind that I had been manipulated, and my memory of the event was only hazy at best. So the memory of being manipulated doesn't clearly remain, eh? Signing execution orders is part of a Justice Minister's job. At the time, I just thought my psyche was rebelling against the task. Psyche. But the next day, it dawned on me. I remembered Inspector Cabanella's report on the existence of a manipulator. As a Minister of Justice, I couldn't admit what had happened to me. I only signed the execution order because I was being controlled. If something like that got out, this nation's judicial system would crumble. Besides, I had no evidence to present that I actually had been controlled. So, in the end, I couldn't admit to anybody what had happened. I suppose, but it sounds a bit like an excuse. You should have at least told us, Mr. Minister. Yes, I know. I should have. I was running away from the problem. And then my wife found out I was worried about something. Well, if you go around with an expression like that, I guess it's bound to happen. I explained it to her, and she was dead set against the way I was handling it. Hair. If you don't withdraw that order and tell everyone the truth immediately, I'm moving out. And so she did. And then, with the kidnapping tonight, with it thrust under my nose like that, I could no longer deny my mistake. This manipulator comes upon us from somewhere unseen. It's why I've been keeping my distance from everyone. So that's why you've been telling people to stay back. So there's somebody else beside me with the powers of the dead. And I'm fine with that. After all, I already knew about a certain desk lamp. What I'm not fine with is the fact that that person can control and manipulate living creatures. That's certainly not something I can do. Apparently, different ghosts get different ghost tricks. But I never imagined that tonight I would find out where this kind of power comes from. Where it comes from. Inspector Cabanella, this manipulator, is a ghost, a departed spirit. A spirit? As a matter of fact, there's a ghost talking to us right now. What did you say? Jowd, don't tell me you can hear this ghost too. I'd say the only person who can't hear him is you. Well, and the guards, but... Spirit? Ghost? God's in heaven. Yes, I'll test her. Excuse me, Mr. Minister, I suddenly have some urgent business to attend to. I recommend you think long and hard before making your final decision, sir. Inspector! This is Lynn. I'm at the park. We've been waiting to hear from you. Have you found the evidence? Well, the situation here is kind of difficult to explain. Cecil, if you're there, come to the park immediately. Looks like your help is needed, Cecil. Yeah, I guess so, huh? Vroom, vroom. Lynn calls and I oblige. I take off towards Temsic Park, the place where clearly something big is taking place. The Manipulator, the person whose very existence sheds new light on everything. Detective Jowd's crime, the execution orders, and even my own death. Could it be? Could Lynn have been manipulated into shooting me? Temsic Park, the site of the little lady Camilla's abduction tonight, and the place where an important piece of evidence, the music box, was hidden. What? I wonder why our lady detective is looking so dejected. At least, she isn't dead, but what did she find? Oh, I saw the hair of the, like, hippie or whatever over there in the grass. Is there a person, like, looking out that window? You see that? Huh? What is he doing here? La la la, let me spend a moment's time with you, my love. The world will not end if the food delivery is a little late. La la la. A little late, it's already ice cold. Oh, we go up. Whew, I got this thing spinning pretty fast. Didn't even put much effort into it. This is quite a bit of power and speed for a piece of playground equipment. I can just imagine the poor kids get sent flying all over the park. Oh yeah, I can see the soul too. Oh, there you are, Cecil. From your dejected expression, I gather you didn't find what you were looking for. Right, I can't find the music box anywhere. But I found something else instead. Something horrible. Horrible? What is it? There, in the grass. You'd better see for yourself. Looks like a dead body. I nearly died when I saw it. And I suppose now that we've found it, we can't just leave it there, can we? Nope, I suppose not. I do wonder what's like up in the trees, but I'm sure that'll be relevant later. Stop the park from being turned into a housing site! Protect the park, the Rock of the Gods! You there! You're talking to me, aren't you? I have some leaflets for you. Leaflets! I know you'll be interested in. I urge you to peruse it thoroughly, examine it in detail. Never mind that right now. Do you remember your name? My name. My name. What does my name matter when there are more important things to worry about? Okay. Come now and study these tracts with me, my brother. Come and learn about the Rock of the Gods with me. The night is no longer young. As a matter of fact, daybreak is approaching. But we are young. Look, I don't have time to get involved with your way of life. But I am interested in your way of death. So let's go back to 4 minutes before your death. It's a good one. And so, I made up my mind. I resolved to live here in this park and defend it. Okay. And what does that have to do with this Rock of the Gods you mentioned? You still don't appear to understand. It's written quite clearly in the 4th leaflet, in great detail. Excuse me, but I have to use the restroom. Eek! Oh, so this person died a while ago. I'm coming! Just hold! I'll be right there! I've located the target, beauty. Girl of the right age, coming out in the night apartment building at the right time. The right apartment building at the right time. Yeah. Yes, my dear, I'll ever so gently nab her and come right back to your side. Good evening, young lady. Won't you come with me? Eek! Oh gods, what do I do? What should I do? I have to do something. And so that potentially explains why she has a core. What in the world? What just happened? Oh, that's Mino. Mino? Mino, the mascot, symbol of the Temsic Park. Forget about the name of that big creepy lunk of concrete. I'm talking about the way it changed direction. Did you see that? Yes, yes I did. We witnessed it with our own eyes. The power of the Rock of the Gods. It was the power of the gods. The power of the gods saved that little girl. And that same power very deliberately crushed you instead? Yes, yes, precisely! That is called the Mischief of the Gods. Is it the Mischief of the Gods, or was it a ghost trick? But nah, it couldn't have been a ghost trick. No ghost trick could change the direction of something that heavy in midair. But wait a minute. What if there was somebody with a much greater power than me? She doesn't have a soul yet. Wait, look at that. There's another flame besides mine. Oh, so it is the flame of a god, is it? But hold on. Your spirit is a flame too, isn't it? Yeah, so? Pardon me, but are you a god? I sincerely doubt it. The last minute, that big lump of concrete made a huge swing to one side. That was probably that flame's doing. Who could it be? I definitely believe it's either a god or somebody god-related. Maybe I'd better try talking to this person. Crap! Crap! I can't believe I've done this. What's this? You're not going to talk to the flame? I thought I'd better try to save you first. But now that we've come this way... Yeah, we're screwed. The path of the flame has disappeared. Did I really make the right move? It is my opinion you should have talked to the god. Well, too late now. Let's just look around and see what I can do on this side instead. Fair enough. I'm also of the opinion that I made the wrong move. Because... yeah, let's just try it again. Going to the flame is going to get me trapped in the same way, right? I'm just going to have to restart. What the? This person with much greater powers than me. It's you? Hey! Is it Missile? Yes! Cecil! Oh my, it's Missile! You look well for being dead. Did you see? Did you see what I did? I did it! I tried really hard and I did it! I saved Miss Camilla! Are you telling me I was done in by a puppy dog? Missile, what's going on? How did you get the powers of the dead? I'm glad you asked. After Miss Camilla went out and you left. Don't try this at home, kids. I worked like crazy to make my own path, and I did it. Oh? And then I followed Miss Camilla out into the big wide world. And then, here at this park, I found her at last. Yes, you guessed it, I barked. You bet I did. And I went running after her too. Well, rip. And then I guess I died. And then I was unconscious for a little while. When I came to, it was all over. Poor, poor Miss Camilla. Crushed under that big scary lump. Oh, what have I done? I'm so sorry, little lady, please forgive me. Miss Camilla! I had to rescue Miss Camilla. It was up to me. I cried out from the depths of my heart, and then... I can't tell you how surprised I was, but I bet you understand, right? Better than probably anyone else could. And I remembered what you did for me, how you saved me. The smoke. So... you went back, right? Back to 4 minutes before the little lady's death? You bet I did. Yes, my dear, I'll ever so gently nab her and come right back. Now's my chance, I thought. I saw the core. I don't know, it looks pretty far. I stretched out my paw toward the core. Oh, how I felt at that moment. I'd love for you to be able to feel it too. Go ahead, Cecil, go ahead and try it for yourself. Whew! I can't believe it! How could you connect over such a great distance? Well, they don't call me Missile for nothing. And so then you manipulated that Mino thing and threw it aside? Right on top of my head. Well, no, actually. Huh? I can't manipulate things like you can, Cecil. You can't? Then how did you... I didn't know what to do. Then I happened to see something out of the corner of my eye. And it had a core too. A single leaf hanging from the tree. I tried reaching out to the leaf. What? What in the world? I can't manipulate things, but apparently I can swap them. As long as the two things have the same shape, that is. Bruh. Swap things with the same shape? Go ahead and try it. Press swap. Whoop! That's incredible! And so that's how you saved your mistress, is it? And that's how I became caught up in this, is it? I'm very sorry! My powers were too meager. Meager? Because, you see, I saw one more. I happened to notice one more core. There was something with the exact same shape stuck in the branches of a tree. Is it a football? Hey, you're right. If Mino could be swapped again with that, then disaster wouldn't have to rain down on my head. But what is that thing? It's too big to be a leaf. Whatever it is, I'd much prefer it on my head than Mino. So why didn't you swap them, Missile? I couldn't. I can stretch out my paw a little further than you can, Cecil. But this was just too far for me. I couldn't reach. I must admit, it's a fascinating spectacle of death, if I do say so myself. I kept retrying over and over, seeing if there was anything I could do. I bet there's something you can do now. Huh? If we work together, you and me... Cecil, you think so? I don't plan on letting anybody die in front of me tonight. Do you think you could help me? Of course! Naturally! So, we're gonna drop that Mino thing in a different spot. Okay, let's try it. Let's go back again to 4 minutes before. It's a football. Alright, let's get started. 4 minutes from now, you'll swap Mino with the leaf. And then you'll have to swap Mino with something else. Something with the same shape. Oh, I believe that's a rugby ball. Okay, rugby ball, huh? But, with the rugby ball where it is now, Missile can't reach it. So that means I have to move it closer somehow. Looks like you and I will have to work together on that one, Missile. Okay, I'm ready. Whenever you want to use my swap trick, just press ZR. That way you'll be able to control me. And then, if you press ZR, control will come back to me. Okay, let's try it. Together, we can stop Mino from hurting anybody. Alright, Missile. Your powers are key this time. Okay, I'm ready. I can swap anything that has the same shape. Just call on me if you find anything you want to try. Probably the best thing to do is just try a bunch of things and see where it goes. And, if I see something that we can swap, I should use ZR. Oh right, because Missile can get over here, like, no problem. Well, this tire and this baseball can almost certainly... Whew, here you come already. I swore to myself not to repeat my mistakes. Mistakes? When somebody's in trouble, you should lend them a hand. Otherwise, you'll definitely regret it. And now, the recklessness of youth has taken over, giving me lightning-fast speed. I've been thinking. If we could stop this man from running, maybe he wouldn't get squished. It won't be easy to stop me once the recklessness of youth has taken over. Stop him, eh? Slow him down, maybe. Wait, I can't even reach that. How did I reach that before? Here comes that man, fast enough to scare even a quick little doggy like me. Uh-oh, the rugby ball is still in the tree. And behold, the recklessness of youth. Yeah, it's that recklessness of yours that's causing so much trouble. No one can stop the recklessness of youth. Well, if we can't stop it, then I guess we're gonna have to find a way to make it work for us. But if he comes running too fast, we won't have time to get ready. Looks like figuring out what to do with his recklessness is the key. I actually wanted to connect to... Right, okay, so I can't swap with the thing that's, like, currently... Look at this funny flattened ball. It's the same shape as that horrible Mino, but it's too far to swap from here. Even this ball is starting to look horrible to me. We have to find a way to get this ball closer to that Mino thing. Knock it down from the tree, I say. There must be something we can do. Dude, I'm in the way. Holy crap. Ah, shoot. There we go. Ah! Oh, that was so close. If it hit the ball, it could have knocked it down. Is that all this umbrella can be used for? We're knocking a rugby ball down? Don't forget about my powers. And don't forget about my recklessness of youth. I think that that's a little too late. I mean, I get the feeling that I've certainly screwed up. I don't know if I want to put the baseball on the seesaw to get that to, like, fly up there, or... Or what exactly? Cecil? That funny flattened ball is still in the tree. Yeah, I know. And, there isn't much more time. To find a way somehow. The baseball was on the thing to start with, though. That's like what's a little weird. I wonder if I like can slow them down by using the... Oh, I see, because this thing drops down. I'm gonna say, I like can't reach it, so I was like a little confused actually. Oh, apparently I don't have to do that. Cecil, help! There's nothing in reach to swap Mino with. We're too late. Darn. Guess we'll have to start over again. I can, I'd like to take advantage of that guy's strange way of traversing the park. But he runs through so quickly. I am very quick indeed. Do you think you can stop me? We have to think of a way to stop him from running. Okay. The best way I can think to slow him down is to put the tire on the seesaw, but I don't know which side to put it on. That's certainly inconvenient. This feels wrong, but doesn't feel wrong enough not to try it. Yeah, that didn't really slow him down. You know, the seesaw, the swing, those things. Yeah, okay. There's one more piece of equipment to be exact. Stop him with the equipment, huh? Maybe I should rethink things. Yeah, maybe. Definitely something I'm not seeing here. I already tried putting the tire, like, in the globe, and that didn't work. Can't really seem to reach the swing, to be honest. Maybe I could while it's swinging, but that stops pretty quickly. And even if I could, I don't know what I would really do with that. Oh, maybe there's more over there, though. No, it doesn't look like it. Alright, let's just go nuts with missile. See how far I can get. Whoops. Oh. Oh no. Suddenly comes the point where I don't know which button on my controller is the right button to press to, like, do anything. This one. Okay. Gonna fall through. No, it's still in there. That seems potentially kind of bad. I don't actually feel like I have too many options here. That's why I'm like confused. So when he jumps over, he lands on the far side, I guess? So maybe just putting this here on the far side is good enough? Oh, I have my doubts. Oh no, it like rolled back over. That's unfortunate. It seems like as soon as he jumps off, it's already like too late or something. Okay, we're like in the default position already. Again, which is probably bad. Guess I could get, if I could get up to the umbrella in time, that might do the trick. I don't have like a lot of time though. Ah! I just let it spin one too many times. I think I'm like owned. Yeah, there's just not enough time to get up here as far as I can tell. As soon as you like get up, he just jumps off. That's what it seems like. Or maybe I'm just bad? very crushed over here. Do you look at that? There sure are a lot of round things around here. Oh boy, that means it's time for me, right? Oh boy. My hair is also round. Let's see, to use Missile's powers, I tap ZR and try to see what happens. Okay. I didn't get this, like, notification before for whatever reason. Whoops. I don't know, does that, like, slow it down? I don't think it did before. Crap. Oh my god. Yeah, okay. Have I ever done this with the basketball on this? Is that, like, all there is to it? I think I did, and it just rolls over to the... Just rolls over to the spot where he's dead. Pretty sure. I guess when you do this, like, exact sequence of events, you get this message. Interesting. I mean, honestly, the baseball seems the most promising, but... In that case, you don't, like, ever have to swap anything. That's why I'm confused. Let me see if I can actually get up there faster after all. Wait, no, I want to swap this back, though. Okay, now wait. Just gonna try to get up there and lower the... umbrella as fast as possible. But these dang leaflets are, like, too slow. And, like, rustling this takes time. Go, 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 go. Yeah, no, there's, like, no time. I guess slowing this guy down is the answer. I just don't know how to do it. I haven't found anything else that I can swap, but that seems likely to be what I might need to do. Wait, what if I, like, swap these things while it's already spinning? I don't think I've tried that. I mean, in some ways it doesn't seem like it should matter. Like, it seems like if changing the weight while it's spinning slows it down, it should be the case that changing the weight before he jumps on it should also make it just go slower to begin with, but whatever, let's try it. I can do Jack. I guess let's see how high the basketball flies for now. Yeah, no, that's like perfect height, actually, if the umbrella was there. Wait! I know what I'm missing. Alright. One critical option here that I've been neglecting. Here we go. Spin. Wow, didn't see this coming. Don't you know the first thing about Globe Climber? The Globe Climber? Even little children treat it with the respect it deserves. They know that unless you spin it gently, there's no stopping it. Yeah, it does look pretty dangerous. Looks like I'm just destined to fly through the air like this for a while. This might just buy us some time. Maybe he'll just keep spinning around like that for the whole 4 minutes. I'm sorry, but I don't think I would stand it for that long. But anyway, at least we're stopping him from running for a while. Let's do what we can while we have this chance. Alright. Oops. I hope that, like, the timing doesn't matter here. That I can just have this thing, like, down and open, waiting for the basketball or whatever. Not exactly sure what's going to happen, but let's see it. Oh. Wow, I so did not see that coming. I never thought the umbrella would catch the ball. Yes, I did. Did you see that? The tree branch, it shook a little. I think I saw it shake too. If only it shook a little more, it would knock that terrible rugby ball down from its terrible tree. Maybe it just needs a little more weight. I'm sure we can do that. We just have to put our heads together. Everything looks good so far. We just need one more step. Okay. Ah. Oh, right. Okay. No! Okay, I thought it was going to fall into the dumpster. There, we moved the ball. What do you think, Missile? With the ball there, I think I can do it. Just a few seconds. You'll swap Mino with the leaf, and then from there, you can swap Mino one more time. Final moment is near, Missile. Are you ready? You bet. Okay, watch me, Cecil. Here I go. Finishing touches. You can do it, Missile. Swap Mino with that ball. Right into the trash. There, how's that? My head has been spared. Truly, that was a try worthy of the gods. And now Mino is right where he belongs. We did it again, didn't we? Didn't we? Now nobody has to die. Except for one brave little somebody. Huh? I'm talking about you, Missile. Oh, me? I guess you're right, I'm still dead, aren't I? So let's go back and save your life. Wait a minute. What is it? Now that I think about it, I think I want to stay dead a little longer. What? When I was alive, I couldn't even help Miss Camilla when she was in trouble. I want to be able to protect Miss Camilla. And to do that, I need these powers I have now. I see. Perfectly understandable. Even I wish I had powers like that. Hey, we just saved you. Don't wish your life away already. Ha, of course. You're right. Okay, Missile, have it your way. By the way, Mr. Reckless Youth, there's a certain detective who needs that music box you found. When we get back to the present time, could you give it to her? Certainly, you have my word. Let's go back then, to the present. And so, Camilla ended up in the hands of the kidnappers. We weren't able to change that part. Lynn listened to my story without saying anything. I'm sorry, I wish there was something else I could have done. No, you did the best you could. I'm sure she's alright, after all. After all, she has me! Missile? Are you in there? Miss Lynn, leave Miss Camilla to me. I know I don't look like much right now, but I'm sure I can help her. Missile. You can talk? Whoa. Miss Lynn! I'm going to leave it up to Missile. Kind of looks like Missile is being left up to the wind. Oh! I have something to give you. Stop the park from being turned into a housing site. Protect the park, the Rock of the Gods. Aren't you forgetting your promise? Oh, pardon me, pardon me. My apologies. This is for you. Oh. You kept the music box safe, didn't you? Thank you. Not at all. I was only doing what the Rock of the Gods would have wanted. What's the matter? Cat got your tongue? He's mesmerized by my beauty. Hey, the cat's not allowed to get your tongue. Excuse me, but are you... No, it couldn't be. Have we met before? Aren't you... Aren't you that little girl from that time? I'll never forget it. It was 10 years ago in this park. Bro, don't say it. 10 years ago? Are you talking about... I see we're a little stuck now. Here, in this park, the gods surely control fate. Today, 10 years from that day, we meet once again. If that isn't the power of the gods, then what else is? It could just be a coincidence, but apparently you know our lady detective here. Could you tell us about it? About what happened 10 years ago? Yes, of course. I was actually about to do just that. What's this Rock of the Gods you keep mentioning? Don't you know? It's right there in front of us, in the trash. Oh no, it's not the thing in the trash. Missile. Wait a minute, you say gods, but do you mean dogs? Of course not, don't be silly, this is no time for ridiculous word games. You are standing just above the Rock of the Gods now. Take a good look at that monument. Monument? Rock of the Gods, Temsic Park. The Rock of the Gods. There it is. The thing that was very smoky and powerful looking. The rock is buried in the ground right there. It's been there these 10 years. Ever since that day, it flew down from the heavens and showed us a miracle. A miracle. So this rock you've been talking about, it's a meteorite? Precisely. It dropped from the sky on that day 10 years ago. Yes, of course. Surely you know all about it. Me? That day, I just happened to be passing through this park. I had no idea that day would change my destiny. The sun was going down, and through the gloom, I heard the scream of a little girl. Scream. Now just calm down and drop that weapon. Stay back. If you come any closer, I'll shoot her. I peeked out fearfully from the bushes and saw some shadowy figures. I didn't see the face of the criminal clearly. I knew I should do something to help, but I couldn't move. The tension was just so thick, it was painful. Just when I couldn't stand it any longer, that's when it happened. The sky suddenly blurred bluish white. Well, that's why it didn't sound like a gunshot. When it crashed into the ground, the meteorite gave off a shower of beautiful fragments. And then I saw it. One of those beautiful fragments pierced into the criminal's back. The judgment of the gods was brought down in the park that day. "10 years ago, the little girl that was you was saved by the Rock of the Gods." Oh my, I can't believe it! The Rock of the Gods was given the name Temsic, and still today, it lies sleeping deep within the park's earth. It's not actually that deep. I never knew about this Temsic. I always thought Detective Jowd was the one who saved me. You were very young then, and you passed out from the shock of being taken hostage. Of course you wouldn't remember. But That's funny. A huge incident like that should have caused quite a stir. It's strange you've never heard of it, Lynn. It is, isn't it? But now that I think about it, I remember I didn't want to think about what happened. I avoided the news and I never came back to this park again. That's why I didn't know anything about it. The meteorite was named Temsic after the name of this park that it fell in. And then, the Rock of the Gods was forgotten. Now, an awful thing is happening. They're talking about turning the park into a housing site. I'll never forget the miracle I witnessed that day. And so, I've taken up residence in this park, and am trying to appeal to the people. Protect the park, the Rock of the Gods, that's my mission. I see. I'm taking you with me, Missile. So, 10 years ago, the little girl that was Lynn wasn't aware of the meteorite. I get that, but Detective Jowd, on the other hand, there's no way he didn't know about this Temsic thing. And if he knew... And the man died. I took his life. What was that confession of his all about? The rocks of the gods that fell from the sky 10 years ago changed the destinies of many people's lives, like the ripples on a pond when a pebble is dropped in. With every answer I get, I learn about a new mystery. Will I be able to break the chain of mysteries before dawn? Anyway, now that we have the evidence we need, we decided to meet up again at the minister's office. Besides, there are a few things I want to ask Detective Jowd. We found the music box, Detective Jowd. Good job, Lynn. I knew you would. Once everything had been resolved, I had wanted to give this to him. Him? You mean Inspector Cabanela, right? I don't suppose he'll ever forgive me. Detective Jowd. Now then, let's get this thing open. There's a certain knack to doing it, you know. See? He calls that a knack, but it looks more like brute force to me. Here you are. You should find scorch marks on the grip. Scorch marks? When Camilla built her contraption, she used a special kind of string. It's a kind magicians use. It burns up in an instant and disappears. Why would little Camilla use something like that? I don't know. Maybe because she's a detective's daughter. Not leaving any evidence behind and all that. In the case report, there was a mention of some scorch marks. When it happened, Camilla was watching from her hiding place. She saw the flame run to the gun, something she naturally didn't include in her design. I took the gun out of the frame and replaced it with a picture. If you remove the picture, you should find scorch marks behind it on the frame, too. And those marks should match up with the ones on the gun. In other words, it proves the contraption existed there in that room that day. It doesn't really prove that you weren't the one who shot her, but it does prove something, I guess. And it didn't work out the way the little girl intended, is that right? Exactly. Some cowardly culprit modified the design. But that angle was never brought up in court, and so, as Justice Minister, I must call off the execution at this point. I knew I was right. It wasn't Detective Jowd. Now we can finally prove that. Thank goodness. Thank you, Lynn. In those eyes of yours, I see the eyes of that little girl from 10 years ago. What's the matter? I just don't know. What should I have done 5 years ago? Back then, Nobody had any way of knowing the true nature of the manipulator. It wasn't anybody's fault that we didn't know the truth. Do you really think so? Of course. Besides, what's important right now is deciding what to do next, am I right? She's right, Minister. Yes, of course, I do believe she is. What is it now? I just don't know what I should do next. You'll figure it out. We believe in you. Cecil, if you hadn't come to my cell tonight, I would have been gone by now without ever having known of any of this. This is what I deserve. That's what I told myself these past 5 years. But things are different now. Thanks to you, my eyes have finally been opened. Tonight, I've come into contact with a lot of people's lives and gotten involved in their fates. And the only reason I was doing it was to regain my own lost memory. But things are different now. We're connected to each other somehow. I just know it. And that's why I need to ask you a few more questions, in order to find out about the truth about us. Fair enough, fire away. Detective Jowd, you must have heard this name before. Temsik. The meteorite that fell in the park 10 years ago. You were there. So you found out about that, did you? I hear that meteorite saved little Lynn's life. That's right. I couldn't do anything to help Lynn that day. But in that case, I don't get it. If it's true, doesn't it mean you didn't steal somebody's life away? What are you talking about? Detective Jowd, you told me that 10 years ago, the person who killed the perpetrator in the park was you. What? But it was the meteorite. I wasn't lying. I stole that man's life away, no question about it. It was entirely my fault. I was just about to shoot him. I would have shot him in the next instant if the meteorite hadn't come. At that point, I was already a murderer. That's not true! You were trying to save me. Lynn, I'm sorry, but I don't think that's really it. Huh? Cecil told me all about it, Detective Jowd. About the manipulator. Yes, and it looks like this manipulator really did a number on the minister, too. Ah! Please, don't pick on the minister. If he dies again, I'm the one who has to save him. Ugh. Cecil, do you think that's what happened to me, too? What are you talking about, Lynn? Don't tell me. You were manipulated, too! There was always a part of me that just couldn't believe it. That image of the one who shot me. But now I see the possibility of a new explanation. But who is it, and why did they do it? That contraption was a birthday surprise for Camilla's mother, wasn't it? That's right. Something's been bothering me about it. I feel like I know that device from somewhere. No surprise there. You lost your life once tonight because of that machine. Right? I knew it. See, Detective Jowd? No, I'm afraid I don't see. I told Detective Jowd about it. I told him about seeing the exact same contraption tonight in a completely different place. That's very strange indeed. A junkyard on the edge of town? I've never even heard of the place. And what's more, I've never told a single soul about that contraption. You haven't? That old pigeon guy. Who in the world is he? On that day 10 years ago, a different incident happened in another place. Another place? Yes, in the police headquarters interrogation room. The worst sort of incident. A suspect who was being questioned escaped. Wow, I didn't know about that. I happened to be there in the detective division, so I joined the chase. Fortunately, or I guess unfortunately, I was able to track him down alone in the park. Hold it right there! I fired a warning shot. I wanted to catch him bad. That warning shot made him panic. At the time, I was young and green detective, brandishing my sense of justice like a sword. I made him panic, and I got you involved, Lynn. It was all my fault. Detective Jowd. All I could see was my target. I couldn't even see you. I'm so sorry, Lynn. So the man who grabbed me died that day. These last 10 years, I've never forgotten his face. And then a few years after that, when my wife Alma died in such a mysterious way, I thought it was my fate, my punishment for what I'd done. Wait a second. A face that he can't forget? I painted pictures in my cell, nothing but portraits of people's faces. All the faces of the many people I'd met in my life and didn't want to forget. And tonight, I finished my last portrait, the final face I wanted to remember. The final face. The face of the man in the park that day. Wait just 1 minute. That can't be. I saw that painting. I saw the face you painted tonight. It was my face. Are you telling me I was the man in the park that time? That's right. That face of yours is the face I saw 10 years ago. The face of the man whose life I stole. The man who was pronounced dead at the scene. But, hold on, Detective Jowd. That can't be true. I just met Cecil for the first time tonight. And he died right in front of me. By the way, the name that I know the man in the park that day by isn't Cecil. What? From the first minute I laid eyes on you tonight, I've been wondering, who in the world is this guy? Mr. Minister. Inspector Cabanela, where are you? Just be quiet and listen. This is our demand. What? Demand? Our demand hasn't changed. The execution must be tonight. Once we've confirmed it's been carried out, we'll release the hostage. What are you talking about, Inspector Cabanela? And you know it wasn't my daughter who was abducted. Doesn't really matter who the hostage is, a life is a life. Even if it's the daughter of a death row prisoner. Once the criminal gets the punishment he deserves, the hostage will go free. Carry out the execution immediately and wait for our call. What is it, Mr. Minister? You look paler than ever. What in the world? What's going on? Inspector Cabanela? The rock of the gods that fell from the sky 10 years ago twisted the fates of many people and started a chain of tragic events. And even now, the chain continues to grow even longer. Inspector Cabanela's call proved that to us. And the greatest mystery of all has risen to the surface. Who is this me I've been chasing all night? Who am I? I'm even further from knowing that when I started. Alright, perfect place to stop. Click. Alright. Thanks for watching. Have a good night. I will see you guys around. Peace.